You instead see the real difference in the way and how much light this provides if I just turn to the left. And if you look, you can see all the way back to the chamber we came from.
All right, close your arms.
Wow.
Now, I leave it to you to make sure everyone is still here. My count usually goes up. So our next stop is going to be this passageway here. This is the Primrose Gangway, mined out of the Primrose vein, like I mentioned earlier. Now this was done pretty early on, around 1858. So it took them 3 years to go from that portal to where I'm standing now, using only those tools we saw earlier and black powder explosives, because dynamite hadn't even been invented yet. Now when we do make our way on through, I've got one thing for you. This low steel beam here in the entryway. This is the lowest point on the tour, and I can hit this beam with my helmet on. But as we make our way on through, there's 2 things I want to show you. Now, if we were all to gather here in this section, I do realize that I've been talking about it for long enough, so it's about time I actually showed it to you. If you look towards the corners of the ceiling in this section, you can see actual anthracite coal still left here in the mountain. This shiny black rock you see reflecting my headlamp is what ultimately paid for this entire party. And this is a good demonstration of the nature of the vein too, averaging about 9.5 to 10 feet wide. As you can see, that coal extends all the way to the opposite side of the gangway. Now you may wonder, I've hiked up the coal enough, so you may ask, why is it still there? Because in the simplest terms, this is the mountain. They take all this out, it is going to collapse down on top of the miners. And in fact, that is what has led to many of our most infamous mining disasters and incidents. Overmining, and more famously, probably the robbing of roof-supporting pillars of rock and coal. However, there are cases where that rock does need to be taken out of the mountain a little more heavily, such as the ever-important airway. Now, when I say an airway, kind of imagine in your head like a big air duct carved out of the rock. What an airway tunnel is a very small one that is dug off of a walkway like this, a gangway, a passing branch, a siding, the miner's chamber, Any tunnel where there is going to be people, you are going to see an airway coming off of it. An airway then branches up and connects to a far smaller one than the one we're standing in now. That smaller tunnel connects every airway it can and leads them all the way back to the mine's air shaft. Imagine that one just without any of the elevators. That shaft is connected directly to the mine's fan system, such as the ones we're putting in the new exhibit that's being built outside. You have a fan that pumps clean air in and throughout the whole of the mine, and another one that flows the opposite way to suck out contaminated air, gas, and dust. Our example is right here. This airway extends for 60 feet straight up into the mountain and averages about 24 inches square wide. Now I encourage you folks to take your time in getting a good look at that airway there. While you do that, I will get out of your way and I will wait just over here at the go double for you.
Do we have a fan for us?
Yes. It's small enough to service, just our tour area here. But airflow has never really been an issue for us here on the tour path.
Did you see the water down there?
Yeah, I did.
I did.
I saw it.
I walked right by it. John took me back to see it. The water. Did you see?
Do you want to go look at it?
No, I already did.
Okay.
Yeah. Did you see the second floor of the water? Can we,
They're gonna take a quick peek at the, okay.
Say that one more time.